Hello, everyone. I'm Vandana Moture. I'm a mindset coach and your host for the show, The Collaborative Minds. I welcome you to the 11th episode on The Collaborative Minds. Week 11, and it's 11 December. I'm already so excited. I am a little traditional that way. It's 11/11. It's very exciting for me. And thank you so much for joining us, through the 11 episodes, for your continued love and support, for sharing the love, for spreading the word. Thank you so much. Now, today we are going to talk about confidence. It's an absolute game changer, isn't it? What I think about confidence is, when we don't feel confident in our own abilities, no matter how much the world is trying to validate us, no matter how many near and dear ones or our friends come and tell us that, you're actually good, we actually choose not to believe them. So is confidence about external validation, or is it about what we think about ourselves? It's something I really want to know from our amazing guest on the show today. I'm delighted to invite Anita Van Rooyen. Hi, Anita. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Vandana. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And all the more better now that I see you.
Oh, my God. Keep talking.
We are privileged to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it is such a pleasure. It's an honor to be here and to share some stuff with your amazing audience as well.
Thank you so much. I see that the audience is joining in. A big welcome to all of you. Please do let us know where you're joining us from. As always, please keep commenting, share what you're loving and what you're excited to know and learn about. Keep posting your questions, and we'll try to cover as many questions as we can.
We love your questions.
Amazing. So before we get into the questions, let us start with a wonderful introduction of Anita. Anita is a human behavior expert, confidence coach, and the chief confidence hacker at the Confidence Hackers. For the past 6 years, Anita has worked with thousands of people, from CEOs to students, world champion dancers to sexual abuse survivors, and business owners to form cult members. With that amazing introduction, I welcome you once again, Anita.
Thank you. Oh my God, hearing me back again, it sounds all so fancy.
Wow, we've already received comments of people joining us from Mumbai, Coimbatore, all India. Okay, two more members joining from Mumbai, India. All right, keep commenting, keep letting us know where you're joining us from as we move forward in this session. So my first question for you, Anita, today is, tell us a little bit more about your personal journey, rather your personal confidence journey.
Well, I started life as probably the most unconfident, shyest person in the universe. Lots of fear, lots of beliefs that really held me back. So as a young person, I had what I thought was a label on my forehead that said, you are shy, you can't do anything, don't try it. If you don't know that you can be absolutely successful, do not try things. If you try and fail, that's worse than just even trying. So yeah, this was how I started in my life. And that meant that, there was a whole heap of things, a whole heap of people that I didn't connect with, a whole lot of experiences that I never had, all kinds of things like that. And it's really interesting because I think through life we have these moments that are kind of like epiphany moments where you have that kind of moment. And I think that unless you do something with them in those moments, you kind of have to wait until the next one of those comes along. And they're not everyday events. And at one point in my life, I had this epiphany moment kind of hit me on the head. And it was like, Anita, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to just miss out big time. And not only will you miss out on other people, but other people will miss out on you, because like I might sometimes have some interesting things to say or comments or whatever, and I would hold myself back and overthink. And by the time I had formulated the perfect thing to say, the conversation was already moved on to something else. So that was when I started, I guess, my confidence journey and decided I need to do something different. And that kind of made me, I guess, really start what I now call my cha-cha of personal development. So the cha-cha dance is like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And some things that I tried took me like, 1 step forward, and then I tried it again and then take me like 10 steps back. And some things took me 20 steps forward, but then I tried again and it was like 3 steps back. So it was this continual kind of push and pull backwards and forwards, which looking back in hindsight, I know I could have done that a whole lot differently, which would have created some different results. But I'm here right now and I'm loving life.
We can totally see that you're exuberating it, the love for life. And it's difficult. It's hard to believe that you were that shy person. I mean, I'm still processing it. But
It's
I
hard.
hear
It's
you.
hard for me to believe it. Also, like sometimes I think back and go, "Oh my God, who was that girl?"
Is she still in there with you?
She comes out occasionally, of course, because she's part of me. And I think all of these kind of versions of us we take with us, and the more we try and reject some of those parts, this is where we can get into some real serious confidence troubles as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And I see a lot of people are wishing good morning, hello, and they're loving your style. They're saying that, yeah, they love your cha-cha dance and that it happens with all. There's a lot of validation coming along. So thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. It's the self-realization and it's the need within us to make a difference, to make a change. Unless and until we feel that, nobody else can make us create that change. So thank you for sharing that. And what a wonderful journey, because you have been through it yourself. You have experienced what it was to be shy and to be this confident person today, and how you broke through those barriers. It must be a delight to share with all of your clients and with all the young people on how they can do it too, because you've done it yourself.
And I think that's one of the really kind of important things is that, it's really important to know that there was somebody that was maybe in the spot that you feel that you're in now, and that you can see that they have moved forward with their life. They have made change. And, I also had to look at people, that I could have as role models for me in how do I do this? How do I take these steps forward? So I'm really excited to hopefully be that role model for some other people out in the community as well.
Beautiful. I'm sure you already are. And many, 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 many more people would be looking at you and learn from you. So
Well,
moving
now
on.
I've got a whole lot of people in India looking at me as well.
I
So that's
know.
rather lovely.
A lot and lot. Yeah, that's a big market out there. So talking about confidence, and that's what the theme of today is. What, as per you, is the simplest definition of confidence?
Oh, I think when you are living a life that's confident, it means that you can be you. And it's like they're little teeny tiny words, but they are it's such a big concept. To have confidence in your life means that you can be the person that you always wanted to be. And that is something, I think a lot of us have this version of us that we kind of would hope to be. And I was just sharing with the group the other day one of my very favorite quotes, and it's from a guy called Lao Tzu. Initially, I thought his name was Lao Tzu, and I'm like, no, Lao Tzu. And the quote is something like, because I always get it wrong, but it's something like, when I let go of who I am, I become whoever I want to be. Like I can become anything. When I let go of that lock hold of the identity that we have of ourselves, then we can become whoever it is we want to be. And I think that it's, it's in that being whoever we want to be, that's where confidence lives.
Wow, that's deep. As
It
you
is
said, it
deep.
is. It is deep. Being confident is being you. As simple as that. Yes, I mean, be you. That's what we need to do. And whether we realize it or not, that's the most difficult thing to do. To just completely be you, like accepting all of you and then presenting it to the world. Yeah, it's a
Love,
journey.
it's about like loving every bit of you, no matter what. Just loving every part of you, every version of you, every fault, every failure, every success, everything, and just and being okay with that.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that definition. I'm seeing that people are already taking value out of it. So yes, the definition, that's going to be the, I after all of the sessions, the episodes, I do a follow post, and it starts with a quote of the guest. And that's going to be your quote for sure. Be
Lovely.
you. All right. So now, when you said, and we're talking about being ourselves, so that takes a lot of courage, to accept who you are. So, what would you say is the difference between courage and confidence?
Courage comes before confidence.
Mm.
You like, if I remember when I was younger and I was not confident, and I was waiting, hoping, wishing, waiting that somebody would, like the confidence fairy would come along and ding on my head with a magic wand and just give me this magical power of confidence. And it was only probably years later that I realized that before, like, confidence comes as a result, courage
Mm.
comes beforehand.
Mm.
And so I work with a lot of students, I work with a lot of people, helping them to build the courage to gain the confidence. So
Mm.
it's such an interesting paradox, I think, because we all want to be confident. We're all waiting for something to, well, when I feel confident, then I'll do that thing. And it's kind of, the whole story is back to front, because confidence comes once you have done things.
Mm.
Courage comes beforehand.
Love that. Love it. Absolutely. Yes, you need to have the courage to face your fears, because there's going to be fears. When we're trying to do something that we've never done before, there's going to be fear. When we're trying to do something out of our skin, there's going to be fear, of course. But the courage to face those fears and still go ahead and do, as you mentioned, like, do the work, take those steps, which is going to reflect in the confidence.
That's it. It's something that I think, there was a movie I saw a little while ago, and it's a movie called We Bought a Zoo. Great movie. It's a fun movie. And the lead character in it talks about how 20 seconds of insane courage is pretty much all you need to do, or you need to find to make most things happen. 20 seconds of insane courage. And sometimes, I think people get caught up on, well, how insane does it have to be? And, like, for me, what my level of insane courage is maybe different to what somebody else's level of insane courage is. So I think, comparisonitis, which is that terrible dreaded disease when we start comparing ourselves to others, when we let that be as well and take 20 seconds of it, whatever is our level of insane courage, whatever is courage for us, take those 20 seconds. Sometimes after you've taken the first 5 seconds, you realize that that's all you need. You didn't actually even need all 20 seconds. You just needed 5. So that, like, even those, that little story, that was a story from a movie, and it really resonated and it really connected, because, it's so easy for us to forget that it is courage that comes first.
Love that message. And also I'm not sure if it's a fact or not, but you just need 20 seconds of courage you need to find those 20 seconds of courage within you. And as you mentioned, you might not even need those 20 seconds, just maybe 5 seconds, but just that push from within to even begin. Once you start, there's a high chance that you'll go through it. But just to get started.
Absolutely.
And again, nobody else can give that to you. The whole stage might be set, but unless and until you decide to step in it and you decide to go and perform, it's not going to. People are not going to get entertained. So yeah, it's to find it within you, and yeah, courage comes first, and confidence is a result. Love that. Yeah. Amazing takeaways already. Okay, so moving on to the, and I see there are already questions, so we'll come back to the questions in a bit. First, because I'm hosting this, I'm going to give preference to my questions today first. No, we'll be taking the questions in the later half of the section. All right. So to establish an organization like Confidence Hackers, I'm sure it takes a lot of collaboration with people. So what is your mindset when it comes to collaboration?
It's always, for me, I'm very, very much about, I guess, if the other person that I'm working with get value, then I will get value out of it also, out of whatever the relationship is. I think in the world that we live in, there's a lot of focus on me, all about me. Networking becomes all about me. And I think when we start looking at the perspective of, okay, this partnership is something that can work together, but if I help you to be successful, I become successful in the meantime. So that's, I think when we look at collaboration in that way, whether it be a networking partnership, a business partnership, even a romantic partnership, friendships, anything like that, when we are in the mindset of, when I give and I help you to grow, I grow automatically. When I help your business to succeed, I succeed automatically. So I think when we shift our focus away from it's all about me and it's just me and it's me and it's me and the only other person here is me, to this is actually something that we can build together. And that mindset, that shift in mindset, I think it's what makes people want to work with you. It makes people want to be in your presence and be around you. Now, I think that the really important other factor here is to make sure that in that you're partnering with the right people, because there are some people who don't have that mindset and who are, I will take whatever you've got to give. I'm here. I'll take it. So finding people that have that same collaborative mindset, that when I'm successful, when you're successful, I'm successful. And when it's flipped around the other way, when you're successful, I'm successful, then it's that synergistic where 1 + 1 = more than 2.
Yeah. Love that answer again. Wow. Yeah, it's all that it takes. All that it takes is a love for the mission, what you're trying to achieve, really. And whether you're successful, I'm successful, it's not about me or it's not about you. It's about whether what we're trying to do, is that working out? Is that really happening? And as you mentioned, most people would be like, it's what is in it for me? First give me the terms and condition. What is it going to be for me? Or as you mentioned, just take, like, give and I'll take. You do the work and I'll get the fame, or whatever like it. But knowing that it's not, both of you are there to trust each other with the strengths that you bring in, or whatever, like support each other through the not the weakness, but support each other through whatever you need help with, and then work towards the common mission and make that successful. Now that's a successful collaboration. And I missed it last time, but I'd like to refocus our audience on the word comparisonitis, which is Anita's invention. Sure, must be added in the Oxford Dictionary soon.
I hope so.
But yeah, even that comes in collaboration, comparison of, I'm putting in more work, or that person is putting in more work, like what's going on? And that also affects it. it's not about who's putting in what work. It's like trusting each other, already having a clear vision of what you're trying to achieve and collaborating further with. So thank you so much for sharing that. And there's another word Mr. Prashant Mehta is adding, that commitment. Yes, commitment comes along with collaboration. You cannot just get started and then leave at midway. It needs it. Everything comes with commitment, for that matter. So
Yeah.
thank you.
And as you said, Vandana, like when you have that focus on whatever the joint mission is, like, you can create a commitment to that joint mission, and that just means that you can just keep working and keep committing to what it is that has brought you together in the first place.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Talking about collaboration, commitment, and trust. Now, what do you think is the relationship between confidence and trust?
Oh, I've never had that question before. So this is a great one. Between confidence and trust. Okay. I think that where trust is a really interesting thing, because what I've found when working with thousands of people is that trust is something that is very, very reflective. So I've found that a lot of people have had trouble in trusting other people, but that is a really big reflection of their lack of trust in themselves. And when that happens, it's really hard to have that confidence, because if you can't have confidence and trust in yourself, it's very hard / impossible to have that confidence, to have that trust in other people. So I think that they're also really very, very closely linked together.
Oh, love that. I was so excited myself to get, to hear what you're going to answer to this question. So I love it. Yeah, I think it's directly proportional. The amount of trust that you have in yourself is going to reflect in the confidence that you showcase, and or feel within. They just, in a different way, there's a twist to the words, but pretty much the same. It's, I won't say they're synonyms, but in a way they are. Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Very strongly linked together, that, low self-trust is reflected in low self-confidence.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And what would you say, is it about, one is about trusting ourselves or feeling confident about ourselves. And then what do you think about building trust, like feeling or expressing trust or building trust with others? What would you say about that?
When it's is with connection, you mean?
With connection and confidence again, like, oh, I feel confident that I can go ahead and, trust this person. How do you see that?
It's very, very, very related. If we don't have that trust in ourselves, it's impossible to trust other people, because, we need to have that within ourselves first to be able to even really know what trust feels like. How do we know if we can trust somebody? How do we know that we can, connect with our gut instinct to know that, yes, okay, this is somebody that we can trust, if we don't have kind of a flagpole of our own that says, okay, this is where trust lives. This is where trust is with me. When I feel that with somebody else, okay, oh yeah, that's that feeling of trust. I know I can trust this person. So I think that they're super duper connected.
Wow. I'm seeing that the audience is loving, and so am I, that everything about what you're sharing here, Anita, is that it all starts with you. It all starts like from within. It all starts with us. Trust starts with us. Connection starts with us. Confidence is all about our relationship with us. Love that. Love that. All right. So moving on with all the wonderful work that you're doing with Confidence Hackers, what are the biggest challenges that you faced? What are the biggest challenges faced by millennials and the current generation when it comes to confidence?
Oh, there's a number of them. I think that a lot of it comes down to confidence is a huge one for a lot of millennials. And a lot of millennials I've found are either on kind of like either edge of the spectrum, where low confidence, really shy, don't know how to ask questions, especially in a workplace scenario, are frightened of failing, so don't try new things. Or there's kind of the other end of the spectrum where you get to a place of cockiness. Now, cockiness should never be confused with confidence. Cockiness is somebody who is trying to be confident but overshooting the mark, and it's like false confidence. It's false confidence. So I found that there's a lot of either ends of the spectrum. Both of them are actually really low confidence.
True.
Low confidence is low confidence, but cockiness is trying to overcompensate for a lack of confidence, and then way overshooting the mark, going miles ahead, turning into somebody that sort of becomes a bit you're repelled from them. Somebody who's confident, who is in that space of being themselves, is magnetic. We love spending time with them. They've got a great energy about them. They're happy to not be in the limelight all the time. They're happy to share the limelight. They're happy to share the trials and tribulations, the joys and everything in life. So yeah, I'd say that, look, and I think a lot of the employers that I'm talking to are telling me that a lot of millennials are really in this situation where, if something goes wrong at work or they don't know what to do next, rather than having that courage to ask a question, they will either just not do the work and not move forward, just kind of sit there and be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, but I don't want anybody to know that I don't know what to do. And that becomes really problematic, because it really, in the workplace, it stops things moving forward. It always turns around and kind of bites you on the backside.
Wow, thank you for sharing that eye-opening perspective. Because to most of us, I'm 84 born, so I'm in the millennial bracket somewhere, but just in the beginning probably. But the latest generation, the current generation, what do you call Generation Z or Y? I don't know where we are going now, but they appear to be the most confident generations of all times. That's the impression that most people get, because there's just so much, like, plethora of information available that they can access. They have, they can read, and they also do understand. So they appear to be really confident. But to what you brought about on, it's either this, that because there's so many people who appear confident, there are those few who don't step up, and then there are others who are trying to put on the mask and show the world that they know so much, or they're feeling so confident, but internally there's something that they are struggling with themselves. And also hearing the employer's perspective, as you mentioned, that the fear, because there's just so much information available, again, that everybody wants to solve the problem by themselves. They don't want to be seen as someone who cannot solve the problem. So yeah, that gets in the way. So instead of approaching for help, just running away from it is the desired solution, I guess, for most people, if not for all. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it feels like that's an ideal solution, but it comes back again to that space of comparisonitis, where you think about social media and am I good enough? Am I cute enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? Compared to every other person on social media. Is my holiday good enough? Am I happy enough? Am I sad enough? Is my hair good enough? Am I on and on and on and on and on and on? And I think that really, can impact confidence at the really kind of granular cellular level of our bodies. It impacts us really, really significantly.
True. No, I I won't say I'm able to relate to it, but I understand that someone who is exposed to so much of comparison all the time, like earlier there wasn't so much of social media available, but now that everybody is, even if you don't want it, you will be exposed to it. So that internal comparison happens probably somewhere within the subconscious, and you don't know what thought you've put in through and how it's reflecting in your being. So it's all the more important for the generation today to become aware of what's going on within, and to really take care of what they need. So thank you for sharing that. Before I start taking the questions from our audience, and I say Robin is saying hi Robin, good to see you here. So before I start taking questions from the audience, one last question from me. Now that we have so many people here and we have you, what would you say is, or what would you like to share as the tips to feel confident in the moment when somebody's feeling a lack of, somewhere not feeling very confident? What would be the tip to feel confident instantly?
I would say, oh, that's my cat just meowing in the background. I would say, we spoke earlier about courage, and if it's okay, can I take like a minute to share a super exercise that I've done with a lot of people that has been so helpful. And it doesn't matter what age, what anything you are. This is something that I learnt the hard way through my cha-cha of personal development. And it's something that I love sharing because it's so simple and yet incredibly powerful. And it's a tool that I use that I call the courage bucket. The courage bucket. Now, as I said before, when I was super shy, I didn't know that you needed to have courage first before confidence. I thought that confidence came and just some magic fairy brought it for you. And when I discovered that courage comes first, that was when I discovered that I have this thing called a courage bucket. And I believe everybody has a courage bucket. My courage bucket lives right by my right foot. It's always been there. And when I didn't know it was there, that was when I used to trip over it. I would trip over my courage, hoping to find confidence, but then I would fall over because I didn't even know that this courage bucket was there. So the courage bucket is invisible. But sometimes when we need to have some courage, I'm going to reach down and just grab some courage out of my courage bucket.
Okay.
Sometimes we just need this much courage, just a splash. So if you want to have a look, see where your courage bucket is, everybody on the call, let's have a look. Mine's just down by my right foot. Yours might be somewhere else. Just grab a handful and just splash it on your face. Sometimes that's all you need is just a splash of courage on your face. And it does feel good, doesn't it? And then sometimes when you're facing something that's really big, have you heard of the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you get a bucket of cold water and dump it on your head. This is courage bucket. So courage bucket, you can grab your courage bucket, and sometimes your courage bucket is this big. Sometimes your courage bucket needs to be this big. Sometimes people's courage bucket, when they first discover it, is only this big. But grab your courage bucket. Have you got yours, Vandana? Grab yours. And on the count of 3, let's go full courage bucket. 1, 2, 3. Tip it over your head. That's it. Make sure you drop every drop. That's it. And then you put it back down wherever it is that your courage bucket goes. Robin says that hers is in her lap. Wherever your courage bucket is, as soon as I put my courage bucket back on the floor in its spot, immediately it's refilled. So if I need more courage, if it's a 2-bucket courage job, I can just straight away, I've got more courage. It seems like a fun, simple tool, but it's so powerful because it's a reminder for us that courage comes first and that courage is always there. We just forget that it is. And as I said, I've done this with a whole lot of people, and it always gets everybody kind of having a bit of a laugh, but then they go, yeah, like I feel like I can actually do some stuff. So that's probably like my number one tip is locate your courage bucket wherever it is and start using it, because the more, it's like, it's like any muscle. the more you use it, the stronger it gets, the quicker it is for you to be able to, yep, go. And that means that you are ready all the time for whatever opportunities are there. And I think, I've missed a huge number of opportunities waiting for confidence, not knowing that my courage bucket was always right there, just waiting for me to discover it.
Wow, that one tip, that one exercise is worth 100 tips or more. Wow. I'm trying to spot where exactly I followed your right foot courage bucket thing. I'm trying to spot where exactly it is. I think in my arm. In my arm.
Mine's always has been. Everybody will have a different spot for their courage bucket. And that's so awesome because we are all different people and our courage lives within us or around us in different places. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you've discovered yours.
I see that our audience is digging the exercise, and I love what you mentioned, that it's always available. It is always available, and as soon as you empty it, it becomes full again magically. One, it's invisible, first of all. Yeah, it's invisible, but it's there. And then it gets full. It gets filled automatically. So use it as much as you can. In fact, the more you use it, easier it will be for you to lift it. You might not even need both the hands. You would just.
That's it.
I love it. I'm sure I'm never going to forget this exercise. Love it.
I hope not. And that's what I love is when we make human behavior and, the tools, something that's simple that is memorable, because I don't think that, this stuff needs to be complicated. We make stuff so complicated, and we can make things like this super, super easy, super accessible. And that means you can use the tools rather than having to go, oh, now what was that thing again? Oh, it was really hard to remember. Here, courage bucket, where is it? Bam, done.
Yeah, it's like I have to wash my face. Why not wash it with courage bucket? Water in the courage bucket. So
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love it. And what it does is it's also diffusing the pressure of the situation, because it's such a playful, simple activity. You can find fun in it, and so forget about the pressure that the situation, whatever that is that you need courage for, is bringing in your life, and just have fun. Go have fun.
That's it. And it's suitable for kids. It's suitable for any age to bring this courage bucket. And I think, I can just imagine, people with families and, where's your courage bucket, and it's a beautiful, it's such a visual thing as well. So makes it really simple.
Thank you. We really appreciate you sharing this exercise with us. I'm sure, as you mentioned, at least all the audience who are here live and all those who are going to see it recorded, all of us would definitely be identifying our courage bucket and spreading the word to our families as well. So thank you. Now it's time to start taking questions from the audience, and I already have, we have 3 to 4 questions, but please keep posting your questions and we'll get back to you, try to answer them either now or maybe later after the session's over. So the first one is here from Mr. Vijay Srivastava. He says, why you have to take a personal journey for confidence development? Why it can't be somewhat in school curriculum? What do you have to say about that?
I think that I would love for confidence and personal development to be intertwined into school curriculum. Oh, that would be like my happy place. Unfortunately, it's not. And look, you know what, Vijay, there is no requirement for anybody to undertake a personal journey in confidence or any personal development. No requirement at all. If you are happy and rocking out the life that you're living, rock on, do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, if you are so super satisfied with your life, go and live it and be awesome and do awesome things. A lot of people that I speak to, including me, I don't see that my life has to have any end to its awesomeness. That's a technical term, of course. I want to continue to grow as a human, to grow in all kinds of things, in love, in understanding, in confidence, in owning my own self. So there's no requirement for anybody to do anything like this. Some people are very happy. Some people are happy in their misery. And that's okay too, if that's where you're at. If you are happy in your misery and you're happy to stay there, be there. I was happy in my misery for years and years and years before I had that epiphany moment of, you know what? This is not where I want to be in my life. So that was what it was for me. That was the catalyst to make me decide I want something different. I deserve something different, and I'm going to go out and make it happen.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing the wonderful answer. Of course, who won't? Like all countries, if they could include personal development and confidence building in the curriculum, why not? And in fact, that's what it used to be. Like people thought that if you go to a good school, if your teachers are good enough, it's done automatically. And that was the kind of expectation. But we realize more and more now that schools have a different curriculum. They're catering to the to providing probably the skills that are needed to serve the industries, but not really as for you as a person. And for everyone, the personal development journey starts at a very different age. It could be too early for someone, maybe later, or maybe some, as you mentioned, might not even need to take it. It depends on how comfortable do you feel about yourself and where you want to take your life ahead. Thank you for sharing that answer. So next one is from Poonam. She says it's an interesting discussion. Thank you, Poonam. Are there any techniques to gain courage and confidence when you are losing hope?
I would say, Poonam, that courage bucket is a super duper, like that is a brilliant place to start, because it is that whole thing of build the courage and the confidence will come. A couple of other things I think is when you're losing hope, this is very much in a space of fear. Yeah. And I think, all of us have been in a space once in our life at least where we've felt that we've lost hope or we're losing hope. And the antidote to fear is love. Love is the antidote to fear. And one of the simplest forms of love is gratitude. So I would say that if you're in a space where you feel like you're maybe starting to lose some hope, pull out the courage bucket, use that, like even if you have to use it 100 times a day to take one step, it doesn't matter. And look out for different ways, the smallest thing. I've given my clients exercises where it is, I want you to find 3 things, but the smallest 3 things that you can be grateful for. Because I think it's very easy for us to go, oh, well, I can only be grateful if insert stuff here, like, oh, if I've gone on a holiday, or if I've won money, or if big, big, big things. And I think it's really important when we're in this space of starting to maybe go into a bit of a downward spiral, a way to return back up again is to start looking for the very smallest things that we can be grateful for. It may be, I'm grateful for the bed that I sleep in. I'm grateful for the sunshine. The sun is coming up out of, the sun is waking up every day. The sun is going to bed every day. I know with everything that's going on with, our favorite friend Corona at the moment, there's a lot of uncertainty, and that is that's creating a lot of hopelessness in people. Looking for whatever it is that we can have certainty for and being grateful for that. The sun is a great one because it goes up and down every single day, guaranteed. So looking for those things where we can be grateful, using the courage bucket, I think those two together is a really achievable start point.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, so many takeaways. I love that what you said, that the simplest form of love is gratitude. It's like, what a beautiful sentence. There's love in that, and there's gratitude in that, and it's simple. It's simple. And Poonam, thank you for the question, and I hope you received the answer. But yeah, I mean, just feeling grateful in that moment, there's just fear just diminishes. So I see a lot of compliments from people. That was a good exercise, excellent way of explanation. Loved it. Good on you, Anita. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and taking heaps of value from the session. And thank you, Anita, for sharing so open-heartedly and with full of confidence, full of warmth, full of love, full of gratefulness or gratitude, whatever I want to use. But we loved your energy on the show today, and I'm just, I can say that on behalf of everyone that there's a lot of value that we did get out of the show today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. And thank you to your beautiful, amazing audience for all of this beautiful feedback and for those questions that, I think also the questions take courage to put up on something like this. So thank you for your amazing courage. And in putting those questions up, you guys have served everybody that's watching here and those that will be watching later on. So double thumbs.
Absolutely. There's one more quote. I'm not sure if it's a question. So this is from Shweta. If we choose to live these life skills with our kids, our life and the next generation lives will be so much easier. Thanks to both of you, Vandana and Anita. Thank you. That's such a beautiful comment and compliment. Thank you. Absolutely. The values we live by is what are the values that our kids live by. So thank you so much. It was an amazing session, Anita. So for all our viewers, if you're struggling with confidence or if you need any more confidence boost, please reach out to Anita from Confidence Hackers. And I'm sure she'll have many, many, many more exercises like these, like the confidence bucket. And make sure that you identify your own confidence bucket and keep using it every now and then. And in the meantime, I also wanted to announce that this is the last episode of our first season. We're going to take a break for the holiday season, and we'll be back next year with the new energy of 2021. And as Anita mentioned, the simplest form of love is gratitude. And I really want to express my love and gratitude towards all of you for showering your love all through the way, for bringing the collaborative minds to what it is today, and for always viewing and engaging and participating the way you did. Wishing you all a very, very, very beautiful end of 2020 and a prosperous beginning to 2021. Once again, thank you, Anita. It was a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, everyone.